Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a try on of all the products I got at Sephora, well, all the makeup products I got at Sephora, and also I placed other orders, so I'm gonna kind of share with you guys those as well. So grab your makeup or grab yourself something to drink and let's get ready together. As you can probably tell, I am sick again. There's nothing new here. This is our third week as a family that we've been sick and getting better, and then the other child gets sick, and then it just goes around. It's like a vicious circle. But I'm excited to play with makeup because I have so many amazing products, but if my voice is off, that's why. I have already done my skincare, and then I'm gonna use this Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I have used this quite a bit and I love it so much. You can see that they're separated, so you kind of have to shake the product, and it is giving you this beautiful, glowy, moisturizing skin without being tacky and oily. It's weird and surprisingly good. This also has niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, so I love it. I've been using it even as a primer before makeup, and sometimes in the morning if I don't put makeup on, I'll just put it all over my skin, use my guava or whatever, that massager thing, and it just gives a beautiful glow without it being too much. It feels very moisturizing, and I think if you are somebody who has dry skin, this as a makeup prep will be so nice. Foundation goes on top of it really well. So I'm just massaging this into the skin. You don't want to put the foundation on like the second you're done. I kind of let this sink into my skin, and then after a couple minutes I'll put the foundation on. A little swatch here. Let's see if you can tell. So that's kind of how it leaves the skin, with this nice glow. For foundation, I have contemplated getting the Tom Ford Soft Matte Traceless Foundation for a while now. I have the Tom Ford Shade Illuminate. I have the Stick Traceless Matte Stick. Love those foundations so much. But I just didn't really want to spend the money on it. So I went for this one. This was the YSL New Bare Look Tint. However, we have a cosmetic company store that opened up 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago. And I walked in there and they had Tom Ford, the foundation that I was looking at for. This is in Fawn, and I paid 60% off, I think 50-60% off of this. So that was a good surprise. I'm very excited about this foundation because I've heard quite a lot of people say how much they love it, and also I swatched it in store multiple times and it feels incredible. I will not use this today because I want to give a shout out to this one, but I will be using this in the future. And also, if you have a cosmetic company store next to you, call them. They have so many Tom Ford products, Tom Ford eyeshadows, so many Jo Malone perfumes, at least the one that I have here. So call them, look in your area. If you have a cosmetic company store, you will not find the deals online. You have to kind of call in store. I think they have a website, but there's barely any products in there. Anyway, moving on to this. This is a very good surprise. A more not affordable. It's still, I think it was $38 or $39, and then 20% off of that. This is the new YSL. This is in the shade 6, and it's like a tinted skin tint. You know, it has a squeeze tube right here, and then I'll swatch it. So this is the color 6. And, you know, I thought it was going to be too light. Then I thought it was going to be too dark. But I think it's going to work really well. So I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand. I really like the application of this. It's easy. You squeeze a little bit. You could probably put it all over your face with your fingers or with a brush. I'm going to go ahead and use this brush. This is the BK Beauty 101. I'm going to take a little bit and just kind of spread it around. So this was such a big surprise. I just kind of walked in, swatched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. It looks so beautiful. And decided to pick it up and tried it 3 times, I think, total. And every time it looked so beautiful on the skin. I was so surprised. Andrew commented on my skin when I was wearing it. And, oh, I have a pimple. And he usually doesn't comment on my skin. Look how easy that was to blend in. So beautiful. So this is supposed to be a light coverage, a hydrating and radiant finish. And I agree it's light coverage. You can build it up to a medium. I think you can. I feel like I get a very smooth and perfected look without having full coverage. So that's good. I like that you can build it up. About the radiant finish, to me is semi. It's not too radiant, and I have a very glowy primer, the oil underneath. And I don't think it's too much. I think it's nice, almost natural finish. It does get glowier throughout the day, so maybe that's why they refer to it as radiant finish, but I don't know. For me, I wouldn't consider this to be a radiant foundation. So this is how the skin looks like. I mean, I have been blowing my nose for 3 days straight. I have a lot of redness and just kind of dead skin around my nose. And it's not clinging to it. It glides over it so nicely. I think the pores look really good. I love the coverage. I love that it's like light coverage with buildable, because if I have a bad skin day, I still feel like I could use this as my main foundation and maybe pinpoint a little bit here and there. So the coverage is good. It's better than I expected for a tinted like foundation or tinted moisturizer. What is this? It is a skin tint with hyaluronic acid. Yes, it is light to medium coverage. Okay, why did I not read that? Anyway, this is how it looks like on the skin, and I'm very impressed. I feel like it's quite underrated, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, and I'm very glad I discovered it. Moving on to concealer, I discovered the Kulfi Concealer. I'm hoping I'm saying it right. This is it right here. It's a newer brand at Sephora, and this is the applicator. It is a little bendy, so if you can tell there, like you can bend it. And this is the product. This is the color Coco Crush, and I like it. I think it has slight peach undertone, so it like cancels my dark under eyes. I was kind of shocked with this concealer because I was not expecting anything from it. I want to see what they say about the coverage. They say it's a medium coverage, radiant finish, crease proof, all that good stuff, hydrating, it's clean at Sephora, and I agree with everything. I honestly think this is a medium to full coverage on me, because I think it can be built up. Let's put a little bit on our little friend right there. This product, I can build it up and it will not look cakey. It will not look thick. It will look very radiant, very soft, and the consistency is thicker. It's thicker than you think for like medium coverage, and it's almost, let me feel it. It's creamy and almost tacky, but it does set nicely. I do feel the need to use a setting powder with this, just so it won't move and it won't be too glowy, because it does have a glowy finish. But I have the Milk Makeup Concealer and the Charlotte Tilbury one that have that same, description, that it's medium coverage. It is a glowy finish. I love this the most out of all of them. This has something unique. I can't pinpoint what it is, but the way it sits under the eyes and just overall on the skin, I think it makes me look so perfected, yet not like a full coverage. It's radiant. I barely had to blend it in, and I can build it up. Now, I've made the mistake to use this with a corrector under it, the NARS corrector. It didn't mesh well. I felt like it was separating, like the consistency of the two concealers did not work well together. So I've just decided to not use a corrector under this because I don't feel the need to have it. I think this covers so well, and because it's so radiant and it has that peachy undertone, I feel like it already corrects my under eyes, and I love it. I dare say this is probably gonna become my new favorite concealer in my collection because it's probably the prettiest one in my collection right now. That's how it looks like without me setting it. It looks stunning, like perfect. Moving on to a powder that I'm so excited, I didn't even swatch it. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre limited edition loose powder 4-in-1 harmony. This is the color 12 Lumière, and this definitely has a really big following just in general, the Givenchy powder. This one was probably the one I would have wanted to pick out of all the colors. There were some that had green, which helps with redness. I don't struggle with that. I could use just brightening up the under eyes. Look how beautiful the packaging is. I like this limited edition, this cushy, and feels really nice. So let's open it up. You get a little puff here, and then the product is right there. I feel little pieces of hair all over. It's probably from my sweater. It's itching me. Okay, let's see. So they say to use the puff that I lost. Oh no, it's right here. And to put some in your cap, right? It tells you right here. Oh, no, it tells you to pat it. Okay, let's see. Let me swatch it first. I'm just gonna shake this, like do this and see how much comes out. Just a little bit. I just kind of want to swatch it and feel it. Ooh, that looks brightening and soft. Oh, wow. It almost feels like a cream. See that? That is definitely brightening. Okay, I'm intrigued now. Okay, so I'm going to do what they said. I'm going to pat. Not much product comes out. Maybe do this. Okay, so I have little pieces everywhere. I feel like I should mix them. I don't feel comfortable with the way they say to do it, so I'm just gonna do this and then take whatever's here, which is not a lot, which is fine, and then take this and kind of work it in there, and then go brighten up my under area. Make sure that there's no creases. There's a very little in that heavy line, which is a very normal. And then let's take this. So excited. I don't know why. Okay. What do you guys think? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Do you guys see that? I hope you can. It like, wow, it just blurred everything. Okay, let's add a little bit more here. I am a little shocked. Wow. In my eyes, I see more blurriness rather than brightening right now. Maybe because the concealer was already quite brightening, but this set my under eyes so well. And it is quite matte in a way, but it's not heavy at all. It looks like silk under my eyes. Okay, let's do this again. I'm very excited about this. I feel like I'm a child playing with makeup. This really looks flawless. I really like it. I will ask you guys, if you have this, how do you use it? Do you put the product in here? Do you actually go in and tap or turn it upside down? I feel like I'm trying to learn how I would like to wear this. Wait, I didn't do the concealer here. I'm like, what is that patch there? I don't think I bought any bronzer or brow product or highlighter, so I'm gonna go do that off screen. I will come back and show you this Gucci blush in 01 Silky Rose. Moving on to a blush that I'm so happy I got. You guys know my obsession with the Gucci blushes. I have 3 other ones, but this one I am surprised I love so much. This is in Silky Rose #1, and it looks quite pink, but somehow on my skin it turns into a beautiful natural blush. I'll show you because it's so beautiful. It's pretty much what I've been wearing in my last few videos. So I'm gonna add a little bit here. The blush brush that I'm using is the BK Beauty 104, and it's probably a bronzer one, but I like it for blush. Look at that. I mean, that looks so natural and beautiful. It makes me look healthy, which I am not right now. How gorgeous is that? I'm quite surprised because I would have never wanted to reach for this kind of blush color, but the way these mesh in with your skin tone, I think it's so natural, so beautiful, and I can see this one slowly becoming my more used one because on my skin tone, I think it makes it look so natural and almost healthy. I feel like there's slight warmth in it. It's not this cool tone pink. I'm very surprised by it. I want to swatch it next to the RMS French Rosé. So these are the 2 blushes because I got quite a lot of questions about these. This RMS one is much glowier. So, you know, the texture is completely different. I mean, look at that. And then this is the Gucci one. So you can automatically see that the French Rosé one is very cool tone pink. Here you have the French Rosé, which has more of a blue undertone, and this is just more neutral pink. I mean, obviously it's still a baby pink, but it's not that blue undertone, which I think makes it a little bit more wearable for me. This one, I love it in the summer, and gosh, like the glow that this has, look at that. I'm gonna take this YSL little all over glow, and I'm going to use this as kind of a highlighter. I don't want an actual highlighter that's intense, but this one is really soft and pretty. I mean, this is a staple in my collection. I actually have 2 of these, one in my makeup kit. So for eyeshadow palettes, these are the eyeshadow palettes I picked up, way more than I expected. The Makeup by Mario came after I bought all my other ones. I've already done 3 looks with this palette. Probably the best palette that released this year, in my opinion. Boring in a good way, but the formula is beautiful. These toppers are incredible. And I think for me personally, it's one of those palettes that I'll always have and I will always go to. It's a beautiful bridal palette. It's a beautiful everyday palette for morning to night. I think it's perfect. I already used that one. I have here the 2 Tom Ford quads. I'm going to do a separate video on these, so I'm going to skip those. That leaves us to Dior Backstage, the khaki neutrals. I looked at this online and it seems like it's sold out. However, my local Sephora had it. All 3 of them. I went through 3 different Sephoras. They had it in stock. So if you're interested for the sale, check your local Sephora. But this is the palette. I haven't even swatched it. I was so good. I'm very excited. So this one right here, it's supposed to be a primer. And we will use that as a primer. Seems nice. It's actually more powdery than I expected. So it goes on like a cream and it seems to have set. This is like a topper. Ooh, okay. It's a very bright topper, but you guys know that I use these all the time. Next one is like a gold champagne. Ooh, that's a very smooth color. So far, so good. Now, this gold one right here, I don't like these colors. Oh, is this a matte? No, it has a shimmer to it, but it's a very soft. Actually, this in the crease, I've been using these as my like crease colors. They look really pretty. The next color right here in the center, this looks like a stunning color. So it's this one right here. I tend to really like these all over the lid, but it's less like deep than I thought it would here, right? Okay, I'm not mad. And then the first green, which is almost like more emerald. Not quite, but it has that tendency. That is it right there. It's pretty. Next one is this khaki color. That is nice. I like that. And I think that's a matte one. How many mattes do you get here? So here it says you get an eye primer, an ultra metallic top coat, 3 shimmer shadows, an intense metallic shadow, and 3 glitter shadows. So I guess you're not getting any actual mattes, but this one, for example, you can absolutely use it because it almost looks matte. I see a little bit of shimmer in there, but it's good. It's good as a matte one. Okay, let's see this brown one. Yeah, you could definitely use this as a matte. I can see what they're saying with a little shimmer, but that's not going to be picked up on camera. Ooh, this one right here, it's called Pine Green, and it says it's a glitter. I mean, it's not. So, yeah, these are the shades. I'm kind of excited because think, if you take that green out, it's quite a neutral palette, right? These two greens. And I'm so neutral, and I think it's gonna be nice. Okay, let's try this. I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of prime the eye and see how that does. Ooh, you know, I like the texture of this. I like it because it's creamy, but it kind of sets almost like a velvety finish. There's slight powder. It's still cream, but it's not that would move everywhere. I think it's a nice... It's actually a really nice primer shade. So I'm gonna start with this color right here and just kind of set my lid with this and just kind of see how the color is. Oh, that's a pretty color. Let's go in this middle color right there. Let's see if we put it kind of in the crease. Maybe I should look at you. Wouldn't that be helpful? That did give me some depth, but not a ton. Like the color, I've tried to build it up, and it doesn't give me that much more depth than the other one. A little bit, but not enough. I'm gonna take the brown one and kind of build up that crease a little bit more. I probably shouldn't have combined those two colors, but on the pan they looked much more different than you know, on the eye. Okay, that is a beautiful color, and I like the combination. It's really pretty. It's a very elegant and kind of soft, and it blends in very easy, and that's probably because it has that shimmer in it. It's not a straight up matte. It's very user friendly, and I think these shimmers, if you have more mature eyes, I think they'll work really well because they don't really emphasize any texture or fine lines or things like that. I think that's really pretty. Next, I want to take this color right here, and I'm using a Rephr number 26 and building up this outer corner and lash line and kind of bringing it under as well. Okay, I like this color. That's a pretty khaki color. I always thought that word was so funny. I'm immature. I really like that color. I think it's really pretty. I'm taking the Rephr number 14 again and just kind of try to bring this into my crease a little bit more so it won't be quite so harsh. I do want this kind of elongated eye, but maybe a little softer. I'm trying to decide if I want to go a little bit deeper green. I think I will. I think I'm just going to try to, for the sake of the video, use this deeper one and just kind of darken up the look and make it a little bit greener. Probably put it at the lash line mainly and building it there, out there. I do like that. I think it made it a little smokier. Now in the center, I'm gonna take this. This is like a topper and it seems quite bright. Let me see this color. Should I add a little bit more of this and then we'd use pretty much everything? I kind of don't want to. I don't think I want to. I'm just gonna do the sparkly shade and kind of add it in this like inner part. Yes. And top it. So I think what this sparkle shade does, it is kind of white, but the way it melts into the eyeshadow, it almost pulls out the green in that white, if that makes sense. Like, I think it's transforming it. I really like that topper shade. I think it's really pretty and kind of needed in here. I feel like you need something that's a little sparkly. I wish this color right here was sparkly as well, almost like a topper. I think that would be really pretty with, you know, having two little toppers like that. What if we try actually to use this shade on the lower lash line just to see how it plays with the other colors? I mean, why not, right? Okay, so I'm gonna, that's quite warm. Probably shouldn't have done that. I'm taking that topper and going on top of that, kind of calm it down. I think that's better. We'll come back to the eyeshadow palette in a little bit, but I wanted to go to this one, the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes. This is the eye essential, and you get her eyeliner and the mascara. I really like the mascara. It's full size. I'm not going to open it because I have so many mascaras opened, but I do like it. I actually have one of these open, but I've never tried the matte liquid liner. So I don't know why I thought that these were like minis and it was $28. When I walked in the store and I saw they're full size, I'm like, yes, that's like such a good deal. Oh, that's a cute packaging. Like, this is like kind of off-white pinkish, and it has a gold top. It's a weapon too. And let's swatch it. This is a big boy. That is such a big applicator. So let's swatch it. Oops. There we go. I'm very curious how this will work. Let's try it. All right. Okay, that wasn't bad. Let me get this mirror so I won't cover the camera. Okay, this mirror's so much dirtier than that one. I feel like I need to be like close up like this. I can't do it. I need this. I'm sorry, guys. Honestly, so far it was quite easy to use, even though this is such a big applicator. You kind of just lay it down and swipe. So I think I like it. Now moving on to mascara, I actually have 3 mascaras right here, which is kind of crazy. This one obviously came in the kit. The Hourglass one, it's a tubing mascara and it really helps my lower lashes not smudge because my lashes smudge so bad. It's just, I've always had that issue. And then the new Tower28. So I've tried both of these. I like the Tower28. It is, look how cute the packaging is. It's more of a silicone applicator and it's a little curved. So this reminds me a lot of the Ilia, I think the Limitless mascara, the one that gives you a lot of separation and length but not a lot of volume. I feel like this is similar to that. It really gives a more separated and like lengthening look rather than a ton of volume, which I prefer a lot of volume, but here and there I like it. On the top it didn't smudge, on the bottom it smudged, so I will not put this on the bottom, even though I really like the way this applied on the bottom lashes. it smudged quite quickly. And so I'm just gonna do the top one, try to build it up as much as I can, and I will go with the Hourglass on the lower lashes. I am gonna skip this because I feel like it's already gonna be such a long video, and I'll show you the finished look. Okay, so this is how the mascara looks like. I put 2-3 coats of the Tower28 mascara on. Now I like it overall. I like it now better than I did the first couple times I tried it. I don't know if it dried out a little bit, so it applies more mascara. The problem I saw and noticed is that it can get clumpy. The more you do it, the clumpier it gets, and I felt the need to pick one of these things up. This is from Real Techniques, and it kind of combs your lashes just to separate the clumpiness a little bit. Now I'm not mad about that. I feel like sometimes the clumpiness makes them look a little fuller sometimes, but sometimes less, like it looks like you have 3 eyebrows. So something like this, I feel like it's not necessarily needed, but it will help this mascara look better. And obviously on the bottom lashes, I put the Hourglass, but I didn't put the Hourglass on the top lashes at all. So what I want to do is kind of take a little bit of that green and just intensify or add it a little bit on this outer area, just so it looks more green rather than just like the khaki color. And under here a little bit too. And that is the finished eye look using pretty much all colors in there. I usually don't like to do that. I like to do at least 3 looks with one palette because you really don't need to use all the colors. And actually your eye look will look so much more elegant and pretty if you use less shadows and just kind of highlight just, you know, maybe just this one or just the green. Once you start putting like 10 different shades on your eyes, many times it can look a little bit muddy and just overly done. So that's kind of my philosophy when doing eyeshadows. Just less sometimes is more. Not all the time, but many times. So far, I love this. I don't really have anything quite as interesting in my collection. I love the shades. I love the way they're applied. I like that primer color. I think it's a really new and interesting palette, and I love it. I initially was a little bit like, this color and this one look very similar on the eye. This one was a little bit more gold than I had hoped, but the more I played, even with these colors right here, they blend in so nice. I love the topper. I think I'm gonna get more use out of this palette than I thought I would. Personally, I would have liked it without the black liner. I think it would have been a little softer, and it would have made the eyeshadows and the colors just come forward a little bit more. With the black, it kind of took over, but I really did want to try this black liner from Rare Beauty. But yeah, if you can find it in your local Sephora and you're interested, buy it. It's unique. I personally don't own anything quite like this in my collection. Moving on to lip products. I have here 3 different like lipsticks that I picked up. And then I also picked up a Makeup by Mario lip liner in the shade Toasty. It hasn't arrived yet. Also, I picked up the mist spray, facial hydrating spray from Lila B. It was 50% off and then another 20% off on top of that. I will link it down below if it's still available. I've had that spray before and it is absolutely beautiful, kind of glowy, and it's really beautiful. I will link it down below because it's such a good deal. So those are the 2 products that I don't have with me right now, but the rest I do. So let's start with the Gucci products. I got 2 different colors. I initially picked up the Painted Veil, and this one I wore it in I think my last 2 or 3 videos, and I want to say every 3rd, 4th comment was like, what's on your lips? And it is this one, the Painted Veil. This is the color right here, and it's interesting because I usually don't tend to go for such like more cooler rosy colors. I like more of on the browner side, but this got so much attention This is a very pigmented, it's their Velvet Matte, and I think it's called Velvet Matte. No, it's called just matte. But they go on the lips so smoothly. I almost feel like these are more satin matte than straight up matte, because they have a slight, it's not radiance, it's just a slight luminosity to it. And then the other color I got is Carol Beige, and this is like almost like a brown beigey. It looks almost cool tone gray, and I'll swatch it right here. That is the color right there. The reason I picked this one, because I love the formula so much, but also I love this with a brown lip liner and then just add this in the center. Or if you have a lipstick that you just want to make it a little cooler toned and just a little bit lighter, you can add this in the center. So I will swatch this one, the Painted Veil, without a lip liner on. Look how fast that was. This looks so beautiful. It doesn't look thick at all. It feels very comfortable. It's very smooth, and I have cracked lips right now because blowing my nose and sickness and all that, and this does not emphasize it at all. So this is the Painted Veil without a lip liner. I always use a lip liner, and with this one I'll go for a bit more of a brownie lip liner just to kind of calm down that rosiness, but it's still super pretty. So I'm gonna try this light one by itself. It may look crazy, but I just was thinking something like that that's extremely nude. And then you take a lip liner. This one is from Rare Beauty, I don't know the name, Wise. So I kind of put that, and I'm gonna blend this in, add a little bit more right here in the center, and spread it out. So this is kind of the idea of how I was envisioning using this kind of lipstick, just like a dot in the center, just to brighten up that center and also cool it down. This cannot be worn by itself. At least I can't pull that off because it is gray on me. But I just thought that this was such an interesting color. I don't own something like this, and I feel like I could really mix and match lip liners with this. You could do more brown lip liner with this in the center. I think that would be really pretty as well. Anyway, let's take this off, and I'm gonna try this Makeup by Mario Little Duo. So in this duo, you get two mini products. You get a tiny lipstick and a lip liner. So I went and kind of swatched different lipsticks, and Erin was my favorite, and this would happen to be in a set. So I was like, why not? These are very matte, and they apply initially sheerer, but you can build up the color. It reminds me a little bit of the Givenchy Velvet Sheer, a little bit, not too much, but it's kind of the same just idea. So the lip liner is in smoky pink, and that is the duo. Oh, that's gonna be pretty. I really like this formula of lip liner because it's not super creamy, and I have more control over where it goes. It's still pigmented, it still glides well, but it's not excessive. Sometimes if they're too creamy, they can move and they just don't stay in place as well. This one does really well. So let's take this lipstick. Oh, that's such a pretty combo. This was kind of an impulse buy. I was checking out and I saw it there, and I'm so glad I got it. It is beautiful. If you're thinking about it, get it. It's $20. If you get 20% off or 15 or something, it's really worth it because you're not going to go through them that quickly. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful lip duo. I kind of want to take this one now and just see how it would look like just in the center. I feel like that gave it even more dimension, just a little bit cooler in the center as well. Okay, let's take the hair off. So this is the finished look. What do you guys think? It's pretty much a full face except brows and contour or bronzer. Besides that, we have pretty much everything new. I really like everything, honestly. I'm trying to think if there's one that I'm slightly not super excited or a little bit disappointed. When I first started using this, I was like not sure, but the more I used it, the more I got to know the palette. I love this. I really like the lip products. Obviously this Gucci one, the Carol Beige, it's definitely a unique kind of difficult color. So that is just for my artsy side that I really wanted to pick that up. I really like this foundation. I think it is so beautiful, and I'm gonna see myself going through this because you can use your hands, you can use a foundation, it gives good coverage. I love that so much. I like the Tower 28, I was about to say 27 mascara, but it's not my favorite. I have other ones that I like more just because it takes a little bit to build up the volume, and it can get clumpy the more you build it up. Oh, the powder. The powder is a big thing. Where is it? Right here. I put it back. I don't know why. I really like the powder. I was actually quite surprised about the powder in a good way. I felt like it was very smoothing under the eyes. I'll tell you guys how it lasts throughout the day. I obviously had some fallout from the eyeshadow palette. Not too bad for the colors, but I probably could have cleaned that up better. But so far, this is very exciting. Oh, and the concealer. Wow, this is probably, I want to say, my favorite new product that I own. This and the Merit one. These are the ones that I'm excited to use. I'm excited to go use them because they just gave me such a good impression the first time I tried them. And yeah, I'm excited about those two. There really isn't a dud yet. I'm gonna review the Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes soon and give you my thoughts on those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you picked up. What was your favorite thing that you picked up that you're so excited about? And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.